You're a poison, Lauren. Tom's voice exploded like a thunderclap in Apex Advertising's Chicago conference room, ripping through my core. The glass walls hurled his venom back, and the 30 colleagues around the table froze, their stares cutting me like shards of ice. I clutched my chair, my heart slamming against my chest, a tidal wave of shame crashing over me, hot and relentless. 11 months after my husband's death, my boss was annihilating me in front of everyone. Your work's a catastrophe, your heart's not in it, and you're drowning us, Tom roared, his tie loose, his face a mask of rage, eyes burning with contempt. Apex can't afford your wreckage, I wanted to scream, to fling every tear-soaked, sleepless night I'd fought through into his face, to make him feel the weight of my pain. Instead, my throat sealed shut, my breath coming in sharp, shallow gasps, tears clawing at my eyes. This wasn't feedback. It was a public crucifixion, designed to break me. Tom, I've held Larson's account together, I said, my voice trembling, raw with desperation, each word a plea for mercy. Their last campaign soared, 30% above target. He laughed, a cruel, guttural sound that sliced through my chest, leaving me bleeding. Together? You mangled their ad rollout 3 times. Larson's asking why we're stuck with a mess like you. The silence was a chokehold, strangling my spirit, heavier than his words. Emma, my assistant, stared at her hands, her face a blank wall, shutting me out. I'd poured my heart into her, trusted her like a sister, and now she sat there, silent, letting me bleed alone in this arena of judgment. I'm not a machine, I said, my voice cracking as I met Tom's cold, unyielding eyes, tears threatening to spill, my soul laid bare. I lost Ethan. I'm still here, giving my all. Giving? His sneer was a dagger, twisting deep in my gut, tearing at my resolve. You're giving us nothing but failure. If you can't hack it, Apex isn't your home anymore. The words shattered me, each one a hammer blow to my decade of loyalty, reducing my sacrifices to dust. 10 years I'd poured into this company, building brands, winning clients, lifting Tom to heights he didn't deserve. Now, because I was grieving, I was nothing, cast aside like garbage. Meeting's done, Tom snapped, his fist slamming the table, the sound rattling my bones, echoing my heartbreak. Lauren, my office, now. I stood, smoothing my black blazer, the one I wore when I landed Larson, my hands trembling, my heart a storm of betrayal. The hallway stretched like a death march, my heels clicking on the tiles, each step a weight dragging me deeper into despair. In his office, he didn't sit, just towered over his desk, his eyes burning with scorn, a predator sizing up his prey. "You've got 1 week," he growled, his voice low, dripping with venom, each word a lash. "Fix your broken self, or you're out." 1 week? I stepped closer, my voice quivering with rage and hurt, my chest so tight I could barely breathe. "I brought in Larson, Tom. They're your heartbeat, and I made it happen. And I'll replace you with someone who doesn't crumble." He spat, pointing at the door, his face a mask of disdain, dismissing my entire existence. "Get out and prove you're not a lost cause." My hands shook as I walked to my desk, my heart torn between fury and devastation, tears blurring my vision. My cubicle was a monument to my life. Awards gleaming with pride, client letters filled with gratitude, a photo of Ethan smiling on our last anniversary, his warmth a ghost I couldn't reach. I grabbed my bag, my vision swimming, and ran for the elevator, my soul screaming for release. Emma caught me, her voice small, trembling, barely reaching me through my pain. "Lauren, are you okay? That was horrific." "Horrific?" I spun, my voice breaking, tears streaming down my face, my heart laid bare. "He called me poison, Emma. You just sat there watching me fall apart." Her eyes dropped, her hands twisting nervously, her silence a fresh wound. I didn't know how to help. He's the boss. And I'm the one who gave you everything, I said, my words sharp, drenched in pain, cutting us both. I thought you were my friend. She recoiled, her face crumpling as I stepped into the elevator, my tears falling like rain. As the doors closed, a spark ignited in my shattered heart, a flicker of defiance amidst the wreckage. If Apex thought I was poison, I'd show them my fire, starting with Larson. The memory surges like a tempest, engulfing me in its raw, unyielding pain. I see Lena, a strategist whose radiant spirit once lit up our team, now a broken shadow under Tom's merciless wrath. It was a team huddle, the air thick with anticipation, when he tore into her proposal, his voice a thunderous roar, branding it pathetic for all to hear. Lena's eyes brimmed with tears, her hands trembling as she struggled to respond, her voice a fragile thread against his onslaught. He silenced her with a sneer, spitting. "You don't belong here." Each word a hammer to her heart. Later, I found her in the restroom, her sobs echoing off the tiles, her face buried in her hands, her body shaking as she whispered, "I thought I was enough." Her pain was a mirror to my own, her defeat a searing vow etched into my soul. Tom's cruelty will not claim me. I will fight, for her, for me, for every piece of us he tried to crush. That night, my kitchen became a war zone. Laptop glowing like a beacon, papers scattered like shrapnel, coffee cold and forgotten. Larson's contract was up in 10 days, a ticking clock over my future. I'd earned their trust, not Tom, and that truth fueled me. I typed an email to Carla Larson, their CEO. "Coffee tomorrow? Got bold ideas for your next wave." It was short, daring, pulsing with risk, each word a step toward salvation or ruin. My finger hovered over send, my heart racing, doubt clawing at me. This could end me, erase everything I'd built. I clicked it, my breath catching, a leap into the unknown. An hour later, Carla replied, 2 p.m., Java Haven. Excited. My chest loosened, a fragile hope blooming amidst the chaos. I wasn't finished, not yet. Java Haven thrummed with the pulse of afternoon chatter, but my world narrowed to Carla, sitting across from me, her sharp eyes peeling back my layers like she could see the wounds beneath my skin. She sipped her cappuccino, her voice warm but piercing, tugging at the edges of my heart. "Lauren, you look like you're carrying a hurricane," she said, leaning forward, her gaze soft yet unrelenting. "What's breaking inside you?" I swallowed, my hands trembling, my voice raw with vulnerability, each word a confession. "Apex is rotting, Carla. Tom's chasing money, not trust. I'm terrified it'll ruin your campaigns, everything we've built." Her brow creased, her cup pausing midair, her eyes narrowing with concern, mirroring my pain. "Tom's always been slick, but you've kept us shining. What's tearing you apart?" "Tom called me poison," I said, my voice low, cracking under the weight of betrayal, tears pricking my eyes. "Said I'm killing Apex because I'm grieving Ethan." Carla's eyes widened, her breath catching, her hand tightening on her cup, her voice trembling with indignation. "That's madness, Lauren. You're our heart, our anchor. Why is he trying to destroy you?" "He thinks I'm shattered," I said, my voice quivering, my tears threatening to fall as I held her gaze, my soul exposed. "But I'm still the one who knows your brand, who'd fight to my last breath for you." She leaned back, her eyes glistening with empathy, her voice soft but probing, pulling at my truth. "You're not just hurting. You're planning something massive, something brave." I nodded, my heart pounding like a drum, my voice thick with emotion, raw with hope. "Your contract's up soon. I'm thinking of breaking free, going solo. If I do, would you trust me? Just me." Carla's lips parted, a flicker of awe in her eyes, her voice gentle, almost reverent. "That's a huge leap, Lauren. Starting over's brutal, especially with your heart so raw." "Not over. I said, sliding a folder across the table, my hands shaking with desperation and hope. This is your next campaign, built from my soul, for you, every piece of me in these pages. She flipped through it, her silence heavy, her fingers lingering on the pages like they held my heartbeat, her eyes tracing my dreams. It's stunning, Lauren, but Apex has power, resources. What makes you different? My everything, I said, my voice breaking, fierce with passion, tears spilling now. Tom's about numbers, cold and empty. I'm about you, Carla. I'd give my last breath for this. She closed the folder, her eyes locked on mine, her voice a whisper, thick with emotion. I need time to think. Leaving Apex is a lot, a risk. But I see you, Lauren. I see your fight, your heart. I know, I said, standing, my heart raw but resolute, my tears falling freely. Just know I'd burn for you. As I left, my phone buzzed, the sound jarring. Emma, Tom's asking where you are. He's unhinged. I ignored it, my tears staining my cheeks, my heart a storm of defiance. Let him rage. I was done hiding. The memory engulfs me like a wildfire, its heat searing my soul. I see Sam, a designer whose quiet genius once sparked our campaigns, now a broken figure under Tom's relentless malice. It was a team meeting, the room tense when he presented his client pitch, his voice steady with pride. Tom mocked it, his laughter cruel, branding Sam a nobody in front of everyone, his words a blade to Sam's heart. Sam's face drained of color, his voice faltering as he tried to defend his work, only for Tom to dismiss him with a cold, "You're done." Later, I found Sam at his desk, packing his belongings, his hands trembling, his eyes vacant as he muttered, "I thought I had a place here." His pain was a mirror to my own, his defeat a vow carved into my bones. Tom's venom will not consume me. I will rise, for Sam, for myself, for every dream he tried to snuff out. Back home, I planned my rebellion, my heart a battlefield of hope and fear. If Carla said yes, I'd need a business name, a bank account, a vision to carry me forward. My savings were barely a whisper, Ethan's insurance a wound I loathed touching, each dollar a reminder of his absence. But this was my survival, my chance to reclaim my soul. My doorbell rang, sharp and urgent, cutting through my thoughts. Emma stood there, clutching a USB drive, her face pale, her eyes brimming with guilt and tears. "I got the Larson file," she said, her voice breaking, raw with remorse. "Nobody knows." I took it, my heart twisting, my own tears falling now. "Why risk everything, Emma?" "I betrayed you," she said, her voice a sob, her eyes pleading for forgiveness. "I sat there while he crushed you, Lauren. Please let me make it right." I studied her, my tears mirroring hers, my heart softening despite the pain. "Okay, but this stays secret." She nodded and left, her steps heavy with resolve. I plugged in the drive, my chest tight, my fingers trembling. The data was a treasure trove. Larson's metrics, their dreams, their heart, all laid bare. I worked until dawn, crafting a pitch that bled my soul onto the page, each word a cry for redemption. This was my salvation, my fight to rise from the ashes. Carla's office buzzed with a vibrant energy, a stark contrast to Apex's sterile, soulless halls. She greeted me with a nod, her eyes fierce with focus, cutting through the morning hum. Her presence a lifeline in my storm. "I've been wrestling with your offer," she said, closing the door, her voice steady but searching, pulling at my heart. "It's daring, Lauren, but I need to know you're unshatterable, that you won't break." "I'm unshatterable," I said, handing her a new proposal, my hands trembling with raw emotion, my voice thick with conviction. "This is your campaign, Carla. No Apex, no Tom, just my soul, poured out for you." She skimmed it, her nod warm, her eyes softening. glistening with something like awe. "It's alive, Lauren, pulsing with you." "But Tom called me, said you're unraveling, that Apex is stronger without you." My heart lurched, a fresh wave of betrayal crashing over me. But I kept my voice steady, my words dripping with pain and resolve, my tears close. "He's lying to save himself, Carla. He knows I'm why you stayed, why you trusted Apex." "Maybe," she said, her gaze piercing, her voice gentle but challenging, testing my core. "But he offered a 30% discount to keep us. That's a hard choice to walk away from." "Discount?" My laugh was raw, soaked in the sting of betrayal, my eyes burning with unshed tears. "That's fear, Carla, not loyalty. You deserve my everything, not his desperate scraps." Her eyes glistened, a smile breaking through, her voice soft, almost a whisper, heavy with respect. "You're relentless, Lauren. A fire I can't ignore. I need a full pitch by Tuesday. Can you bring it, all of you?" "Absolutely," I said, my voice cracking with determination, my heart laid bare, tears slipping down my cheeks. "You'll see what I'm worth, what I'd give for you." As I left, my phone rang, the sound a jolt to my frayed nerves. "Tom." I answered, my chest tight, tears streaming, my voice a storm of pain and defiance. "What do you want?" "You're vanishing," he roared, his voice shaking with rage, cutting deeper into my wounds. "Larson's shutting me out. What are you doing to me?" "My job?" I said, my voice breaking, fierce with the weight of my hurt. "Something you forgot when you broke me, Tom." "Don't dare me," he snarled, his voice a low growl, dripping with menace. "You're nothing without Apex, nothing." "You made me nothing," I said, my words a sob, a vow, my heart screaming. "Now watch me become everything." I hung up, my body shaking, my heart a wildfire, burning through the pain. He was falling apart, and I was rising, my tears a testament to my strength. The memory is a wound that pulses, raw and unyielding, tearing at my core. I see Nate, a planner whose bold heart once fueled our campaigns, now a shattered shell under Tom's venomous assault. It was a team call, the air thick with tension, when he presented his client's strategy, his voice steady with hope. Tom blamed him for a minor glitch, his voice a thunderclap, branding Nate worthless for all to hear. Nate's strength buckled, his eyes glistening as he tried to respond, only for Tom to dismiss him with a cold, "You're done." Later, I found Nate in the hallway, his face buried in his hands, his sobs echoing, his voice a broken whisper. I thought I was enough. His pain was my own, his defeat a fire that burns in me now. Tom's reign of despair will not touch me. I will rise, for Nate, for every soul he tried to break. That week, I poured my grief, my rage, my hope into the pitch, each word a piece of my heart. Emma slipped me Apex's latest Larson data, her loyalty a quiet redemption, her own tears mirroring mine as we worked side by side. By Tuesday, I stood in Larson's boardroom, facing Carla and her team, my heart pounding, my soul exposed. I unveiled the campaign, vivid, raw, unstoppable, a testament to my fight. When I finished, Carla stood, tears streaming down her face, her applause a lifeline, her voice trembling with faith. "That's my Lauren," she said, her voice thick with emotion, her eyes locked on mine. "We're yours, heart and soul." Relief crashed over me, my tears falling freely, my heart soaring. "Thank you, Carla. I'm home." As I left, Tom texted, "You stole Larson. You're dead." I smiled through my tears, my heart alight. No, I was reborn. Rising from the ashes he swore would bury me. The news tore through Apex like a wildfire, leaving devastation in its wake. Larson chose me. I'd launched Keller Vision, a tiny office pulsing with defiance and dreams, and signed Carla's contract, my heart beating in every clause. My phone buzzed endlessly. Clients, friends, even my old piano teacher. Their voices a chorus of awe and curiosity. Tom's silence was a storm cloud, heavy with menace, a promise of retaliation that chilled my blood. Emma burst into my office, a box of files in her arms, her face alight with rebellion, her eyes glistening with tears of resolve, mirroring my own. "I quit Apex," she said, dropping the box on my desk, her voice trembling with passion. "Tom's collapsing, Lauren, and I couldn't stay." "You quit?" I asked, my voice catching, tears pricking my eyes, my heart swelling with her courage. "Why risk it all, Emma?" "You showed me what's real," she said, her voice breaking, fierce with loyalty, her tears falling now. "Apex is a grave, suffocating us. I want to live, to create with you." I paused, trust a fragile flame flickering in my chest, my heart softening despite the pain she'd once caused. "Okay," I said, my voice thick with emotion. "Start with these client leads." She dove in, her energy a spark igniting the room, her tears drying as she worked. Then my phone rang, Tom's lawyer, his voice cold, cutting through my fragile calm. "Apex is suing for client theft. Stop contacting Larson or you'll face ruin." "Theft?" I laughed, my voice raw with defiance, my heart aching with the weight of betrayal. "Larson chose me, not Apex. Tell Tom to face his failure." The lawyer faltered, his voice cracking, then hung up. Emma grinned, her eyes shining with admiration, her voice soft. "You're a storm, Lauren." "Not a storm," I said, my voice heavy, breaking, tears slipping down my cheeks. "Just done being erased, done letting him win." Carla called later, her voice urgent, laced with worry, pulling at my heart. "Tom's offering 35% off now," she said, her words trembling. "He says you're a dream with no foundation, a risk we can't take." "He's terrified," I said, my voice steady, my tears falling again, my heart a furnace of resolve. "You've seen my soul, Carla, every piece of me." "I have," she said, her voice softening, warm with trust, her own eyes wet over the phone. "But my board's nervous, Lauren. Can you steady them? Show them your heart?" "Tomorrow," I said, my heart a vow, my voice cracking with passion. "I'll show them I'm eternal, that I'm theirs." I worked through the night, my tears staining my notes, my heart pouring into every word, every slide. The next day, I faced Larson's board, my voice raw, commanding, my eyes wet with conviction. "I'm not Apex," I told them, my gaze meeting theirs, unwavering, my heart laid bare. "I'm your family. You get my heart, my fight, not Tom's hollow lies." They nodded, their faces softening, their tension melting into trust. Carla extended our contract, her hug fierce, her voice trembling with emotion. "You're ours, Lauren," she said, her eyes glistening, her smile a beacon in my storm. The memory is a scar that bleeds, a wound that refuses to heal, pulsing with raw pain. I see Ava, a creative whose vibrant soul once painted our campaigns with life, now a broken shell under Tom's ruthless wrath. She'd delivered a flawless campaign, her heart in every detail, but Tom blamed her for a client's indecision, his voice a thunderclap in a team huddle, branding her nothing for all to hear. Ava's light dimmed, her strength crumbling. I found her in the stairwell, her sobs echoing, her face buried in her hands, her body shaking as she whispered, "I thought I could survive this." She quit that night, her spirit snuffed out, her dreams reduced to ash. That pain fuels me now, a fire that burns brighter with every step. Tom's cruelty will not claim me. I will rise for Ava, for every heart he tried to shatter. Back at my office, a courier delivered a legal notice from Apex, demanding I abandon Larson, each word a fresh betrayal. I called my lawyer, my voice steady through my tears, my heart fierce. "It's a bluff," she said, her tone sharp. "We'll bury it." I exhaled, the fight raging like a storm. But I was unbreakable, my heart a fortress. Apex struck back with a vicious press release, a dagger aimed at my heart. Lauren Keller's disloyalty cost us millions. My phone erupted. Clients, reporters, my brother sobbing over the line, their voices a whirlwind of shock and support. I met Carla, expecting chaos. My heart braced for rejection. Instead, she pulled me into a hug, her arms tight, her voice unwavering, her eyes wet with loyalty. "Tom's lies don't touch us," she said, her voice thick with faith, her gaze blazing with trust. "You're our home, Lauren, our heart." "Really?" I asked, my voice breaking, tears streaming down my face, relief flooding me like a warm tide. "You still believe in me?" "Really?" she said, her smile radiant, her own tears falling, her voice trembling with emotion. "My team lives for your heart, your fire." That night, Emma and I worked late, chasing new clients drawn by the firestorm. Our tears mingling with laughter, our hearts united in defiance. My doorbell rang, sharp, like a thunderclap. Tom, his face a mask of fury, storming into my apartment, his voice shaking my world, his eyes wild with desperation. "You think you've won?" he roared, his hands clenched, his voice cracking with rage and pain. "I'll ruin you, Lauren." "Ruin me?" I stepped forward, my voice a sob, a wildfire, my heart laid bare, tears streaming. "You're the one falling, Tom. Larson's gone, and your world's ash, crumbling under your own lies." "You betrayed me," he said, his voice breaking raw with anguish, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "After all I gave you, all we built." "Gave me." I advanced, my tears falling, my words a vow, fierce and unyielding. "You called me poison, crushed me when I was grieving, when I was lost without Ethan. You tried to kill me, Tom. I rose instead, stronger than you'll ever know." He froze, his rage crumbling to despair, his shoulders sagging, then fled, his steps heavy with defeat. I slammed the door, my body trembling, my soul alight with victory, my tears a testament to my strength. The memory is etched in my heart, a scar that pulses with raw, unyielding pain. I see Lila, a planner whose fierce spirit once drove our campaigns, now a broken figure under Tom's venomous assault. She'd nailed a client pitch, her heart in every slide, but Tom blamed her for a minor error, his voice a thunderclap in a team meeting, branding her worthless for all to hear. Lila's strength shattered, her eyes glistening with tears. I found her at her desk, staring at her resignation, her hands trembling, her voice a broken whisper as tears fell. I thought I was enough. She left Apex that night, her fire extinguished, her dreams reduced to dust. That pain drives me now, a vow that burns brighter with every breath. Tom's destruction will not touch me. I will rise, for Lila, for every soul he tried to erase. 6 months later, Keller Vision soared. 10 clients, a radiant team, Emma my anchor, our hearts intertwined. Apex faded into shadow. Tom vanished, their lawsuit dissolved like smoke. I stood in my office, Ethan's photo on my desk, his smile my eternal strength, my tears now ones of triumph. I'd walked out, taken their biggest client, and forged something eternal, a beacon born from pain. Sometimes the greatest triumph is weaving a new dawn from the darkness others swore would bury you.